welcome back to Steve and Jenny Star Tour. I'm Steve, this is Jenny. So, we have finished the original trilogy, and we are going to give just our thoughts on the trilogy as a whole. So, Jenny, what was your favorite movie of the trilogy?
This is so hard because every one of them has like something I like about each one. Mm-hmm. I'm tempted to say 6, but it's probably because we just watched it.
Right, that's fair.
So, I don't know, but I kind of want to go with 6. I really like this one. Like, not that I didn't enjoy the other ones, but the other ones felt like 2 hours. This one felt like it went by really fast.
It did go pretty fast. I noticed that.
And there was so much I liked about this one.
Okay. As I've mentioned before, my favorite is Empire. I think this is probably my least favorite of the trilogy, but I still really enjoy it. Like, I don't think any of these films are bad.
No, these were all really solid.
There are some people who just outright don't like Jedi, but I like Jedi.
I don't see. I think this one was so strong.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's really good.
I don't think it did any characters bad. I don't
think.
No,
not at all.
You know, there was a point where I was like, come on.
Yeah. So
it was just a good, solid movie.
Yeah, I liked it. But yeah, Empire is still my favorite though. There are so many good things about Empire that I just adore from start to finish. Like the whole movie, for example. I adore from start to finish. So we've talked about this a bunch of times. Our favorite characters. My favorite character is Darth Vader, and we all know at this point.
The Ewoks, no. C-3PO is my favorite character.
Yeah, C-3PO is great. I love C-3PO. Very close second for me is Han. I love Han.
He'd probably be my second. I like Han a lot.
Han's great. And like Lando's a good character too. Yeah.
Lando's cool. Good. I just wish he was a little different than Han. I wish he had something to make him stand out more.
Mm-hmm. I feel like in Jedi he does. He's a bit more of a leader.
Yes.
In Jedi,
yes,
especially
definitely.
during like the assault on the Death Star.
Yes, that was nice to see.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, these movies are so good. The original trilogy is like peak Star Wars. Like, this is what Star Wars is to most people. There are a lot of people who don't even like acknowledge the prequels or the sequels, and just like will only ever consider these movies Star Wars. Wow. I'm not that, obviously, because I mean, while I don't like some of the other movies, I do really enjoy one of the prequels, and I really like one of the sequels as well. I won't spoil which ones, but yeah, it's just there's certain things about it that I think it's the characters mainly, the characters and the story. It's a very simple story, like of just like the evil galactic empire is ruling the galaxy and the rebellion has to stop them.
Yeah,
it's a simple story.
That's the summary of Star Wars.
Yeah, but it's a simple story, but they do so much with it, and it's because they have so many memorable characters like Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, Lando Calrissian. Chewbacca.
And the droids.
Didn't I not say the droids?
No.
Okay, C-3PO, R2-D2. And they're just all great. And there's so many like interactions between these characters that are fantastic. You know, like one of my favorite moments is anytime Vader is snarky. I love snarky Vader. Yeah. Specifically in Episode 5 when Lando like turns them over to the Empire and Han like shoots him and he just like blocks it and then like takes the thing and he's like, it would be a pleasure for you to join us. And I'm like, love it.
Love it.
And that's great. And I think that Star Wars just has a really unique and cool world.
Yeah.
You know, like there's so many interesting alien species, there's so many interesting like locations like Hoth, Endor, Tatooine.
I love the lore of the world.
Like, yeah.
That there's an actual world. You didn't just plop them on a couple planets and call it a day. You built a world.
Yeah, that's
and I
so
appreciate
cool.
that.
And like each planet feels different.
Yes.
You know, like Hoth is nothing like Endor, which is nothing like Dagobah, which is nothing like Bespin, which is nothing like Tatooine. And it's just cool to see all these different locations and see all the characters explore them and go there. And a lot of them are really cool. Like I've mentioned this when we talked about Episode 5. Bespin is so pretty.
Yeah.
Cloud City is amazing. It's one of my favorite locations in all of Star Wars. I really
see
like
that.
Cloud City.
It's really pretty.
I don't know if it's my favorite. It might be my favorite. But yeah, it's great. And it's just, there's just something special about this trilogy, you know? Like, but I've seen these movies a million times. I really want to see, as someone who hasn't seen this trilogy before, how you feel about it. Like, how you see these movies and see this trilogy.
Like, I mean, unfortunately, I'm never gonna have the nostalgia factor of them. I'm 23 watching these for the first time. Well,
that's why I'm interested, because you have no nostalgia attaching to it, and you still really enjoy them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they were made in the 70s and 80s. Mm-hmm. I still think they held up really well, despite some of the additions, you know?
Yeah.
But the original movies just still hold up, and still have a following like they do today, and a pop culture presence like they do today. I mean, you can't go to any Comic-Con, even our small local ones, and not see someone carrying around a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like, it's
lightsabers are such a cool fucking weapon, too.
It's so nice, I guess, to finally be a part of the world where it has... be a part of a world that has such a big effect on our world.
Right. I get that.
It's a huge pop culture thing. You know, people look at you funny when you say you've never seen Star Wars before.
Yeah.
I would get the looks like, really? Like, you're a nerd who goes to pop culture conventions?
And a film major.
And a film major and you've never seen Star Wars. Like, it's one of those films that if you haven't seen it, you know, you're not... That can't be real. That can't be right. Like, how dare you not see Star Wars?
Right. Let's talk about the music real quick, because we really haven't done this. Okay. Throughout the entire trilogy, John Williams fucking brings it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many good songs in this. My favorite, as I've mentioned, is... it's either Jedi's Fury. I do like Jedi's Fury a lot. It's so good. It's one of my favorite... But Imperial March.
Yeah.
Imperial March is such an iconic song that, like, there are some times where I hear it in my head. Yeah. Just, like, if I'm, like, doing, like, normal everyday stuff, like doing laundry or something, I'll just start going, dun, 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 dun. So, what's your favorite song?
I like the one where they're celebrating at the very end.
Oh yeah, Celebration. I love Celebration.
That's a good. And then I don't know. I'm gonna sound like a basic bitch, but I guess the actual.
The main theme.
Yeah.
The main theme is so good. It's
good.
So
and
good.
When you hear it, you just think Star Wars.
The Force theme is really good too.
And then it brings, you know, as I mentioned before, I know Star Wars purely from being at Disney World so many times, and it just automatically puts me back in the seat of Star Tours.
Yeah.
And me flying on the Star Speeder, you know, I've read it so many times before and I've never known, but now I'm starting to recognize these places and put stuff together, and it's mostly the main theme that brings me back to Star Tours to do that.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's so many good songs in these movies, and once we get to the prequels, we'll see. There's a lot of good stuff in the prequels. There's so many good songs in the prequels. But yeah, I love this trilogy. All these years later, I still love it. Still think it defines Star Wars for me. And I'm really glad you enjoyed them.
Oh, I'm very happy I'm watching them.
I'm really glad you enjoyed them.
Thanks for showing them to me.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me show them to you, and thank you for joining me. And thank all of you for joining us in this journey. We're far from over. Tune in next time, where we begin the prequel trilogy with The Phantom Menace.
Woo!
Oh boy. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.